Kai Jones is another one of those high potential prospects that you don't notice when you just look at the stats. He's one of those new age big wing hybrid types, and I think he's not only a lottery talent in this draft, I also think he's one of the highest upside players in this draft. I know it's hard to call someone who's only started 14 games in college in 2 years a lottery talent with high upside, but today I do want to talk about why I believe in Kai Jones so much as a basketball player, not only because of the skills he shows on the court, but the work ethic he shows off the court. But before we get into today's video, I've noticed that about 60.5% of you guys that watch my videos happen to not be subscribed. So you happen to fall into that 60.5%, or you just happen to be new and like what you see, feel free to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos to take elements from film essays and apply them to basketball. I also make videos covering the NBA draft like this video, and high school basketball as well. So if any of those things are of an interest to you, this is the channel for you. Let's try to get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. But with that being said, let's get right into the video. Kai Jones is from the Bahamas. He played his senior season of high school at Orlando Prep in 2018, which is impressive considering a majority of people that were born in 2001 aren't seniors in high school until 2019. He took a post-grad year at Brewster Academy. He was ranked 59th by Rivals, he was ranked 49th by 24/7 Sports, and he was ranked 53rd by ESPN. He would commit to play his college basketball at Texas. As a freshman, he would only average 3.6 points per game, really seeing only time as a backup. However, as a sophomore, he was the team's 6th man, and even got some starting opportunities as well, and averaged 8.8 points per game, winning Big 12 6th Man of the Year. He was declared for the NBA draft following the season's end. When it comes to the strengths of Kai Jones, the big thing that stood out to me was his frame and athleticism. He's around 6'11", he weighs almost 220 pounds with room to grow as well, and he has a 7'1" wingspan based off what I've seen from certain sites. That is very good for a guy that profiles as a power forward, center, wing type. He has good fluidity as an athlete. He's somebody that moves very well in the open floor. Freak is in transition as an athlete as well. It's just things that you like to see a lot out of someone very raw. He does have shooting potential, I will say that. He does. He's shown that when he's an open look, he'll take it. I definitely think there's room to grow in this regard as well, so that's something I always look at. Defensive versatility due to his fluidity as an athlete, the size, the frame, the athleticism, all of that. He does so great defensive versatility, has a very good defensive IQ, I would say, as well. So again, those are all these things are encouraging signs for somebody that's still considered a very raw prospect. And the biggest thing for me is his work ethic. He's only been playing basketball for a few years. I want to say only 5 years. He was originally, I believe, a volleyball player, I want to say. And because of that, to become as good as he's become in such a short amount of time is hard. And I definitely think that's a big factor in why I'm so high on him, is seeing what if he had been playing basketball his whole life and we got up to this point? He'd probably be a lot better. He'd probably be towards the top of this draft. Well, probably even top 3. But given the fact that, he hasn't been playing basketball that long and his development started a lot later than a lot of these other guys in the draft, I think that makes me more high on him. And given that his work ethic to get to where he is now, that's a very encouraging sign for a prospect, especially someone, again, that's as raw as Kai Jones. But of course, we also have to talk about weaknesses, as all prospects have them, and that will lead us into the next section of the video. When it comes to the weaknesses of Kai Jones, overall, he still is very raw on offense. There's still a lot of work to do. When you watch him play, you see the potential. You definitely do, but it's also okay, there still is some work to be done here. We still got a lot of work to do. he isn't very strong right now. We'll need to add more weight to his frame, even though he is listed at, I want to say, around, 6'11", 218 pounds. He still needs to add weight. I would probably like to see him get up into like the 225, 230 range. Functional weight, obviously, that allows him to keep his mobility. Awareness on both ends of the floor needs to improve as well. That goes back into this him being overall raw on offense for the offensive side of awareness. But defensively, despite his IQ on that end, the versatility he has, he will mess up on plays a few times. You definitely notice the things like that, like he'll fall asleep a bit, he'll miss a backdoor cut, some things like that. And feel for the game overall, this does tie into like him being like basically like a baby in his development as a basketball player, because of the fact that he started playing basketball so young. Not so young, a lot older than most, I would say. Not young, I don't know what I was saying there. And, his feel for the game definitely could improve. And I think over time it will. Just because of the fact that he's going to grow as a basketball player. He has a great work ethic. And as he gets more acclimated into the sport. Because, again, 5 years is not a long time to start to finish playing basketball. Especially for a draft prospect. So I definitely think it's something that can improve over time, but it is something, again, that I did look out for when I was watching him play, and it's definitely that was noticeable when I watched him play. Kai Jones is my number 13 ranked prospect in this draft. My personal draft range for him would be anywhere between 8 and 14. His likely draft range is anywhere between 10 to 20. I definitely would be shocked if he fell outside of the top 20. And I definitely think if he fell outside of the top 20, some team's going to be getting a steal. My ceiling for him is a two-way versatile wing/big hybrid, somewhat in the mold of the Pascal Siakams or the Jaren Jackson Jr.'s, where they have some sort of wing skills, but they're definitely profiled more as a big. His floor to me is a fringe rotation energy big, someone that can come in, let a spark every once in a while, but really it's on the fringe of the rotation more than anything. When it comes to team fit, I would love to see him in Charlotte. I think that would be a great spot for him, given his fit with LaMelo. That would be very fun to see, depending on who's on the board. I definitely think Charlotte would be a great spot for him. OKC, this is another spot. Maybe at 16th pick, a player that just adds to a young core of very talented young players and a high upside player that they probably will develop properly. Houston, if he ends up falling out of the top 20, I could see Houston as an option maybe, but we'll see. Well, only time will tell. And things are bound to change with the draft lottery, obviously, and where teams end up. But based off like what I have now, those are the 3 teams I think would be a very good landing spot for Kai Jones. Kai Jones is a perfect example why you just can't look at stats and form an evaluation. And it's also kind of why I believe that there's more than the stats and tape as far as an evaluation goes. Because on the surface, Kai Jones is just a very raw kind of basketball player that you say, oh, he has upside, but it's kind of a cop-out when you say it like that. But when you add the context of the fact that he's only been playing basketball for 5 years and he's shown improvement in a lot of areas over those 5 years, that's a very encouraging sign. Again, basketball is more than just X's and O's and looking at numbers or even just looking at tape, because these aren't robots, they're human beings, and you aren't scouting just a player, you're scouting a person as well. And I think that improvements that they show can be indicators of work ethic. I also think that, things that go on for these players, as far as like how they got into basketball, when they started, things like that, those things matter as well. And really for me, I think for Kai Jones, that's something that's important. And again, given what he's shown me, given the work ethic that he has been said to have, given the indicators based off his improvement that so work ethic, things like that. It makes me very high on him, and given the potential I think he has. But that is the end of this video. If you've made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, do all those things, be a big help to me. Let me know what you think about Kai Jones in the comment section below. What do you think his ceiling is? What do you think his floor is? Who does he remind you of? Love to hear that stuff. Who do you think is going to win the draft lottery tonight? I would love to hear all those things in the comment section below. Again, if you have more time, go check out another video on my channel. I have over 390 videos on this channel, so I'm wondering if you'll find something else that you like if you like basketball. So if you have time, go check out another video. I'd really appreciate that. But with that being said, have a nice day.